Hello everyone. Today we are going to make some apple pear chutney. I am very excited about this. Another fellow YouTuber posted it and I'm going to try this recipe, so follow along if you'd like. We have some pears that were gifted. I love friends that give produce. We have more apples that were gifted from another friend. Raisins that were actually gifted too. And then I live in Washington. We have Walla Walla sweet onions here, and these are from our local produce. I accidentally, well, purposely bought 50 pounds and not realizing exactly how many onions 50 pounds were when I ordered them. So I too have been sharing. What we're gonna do is we are going to chop these pears into small pieces. The recipe they used said to skin them, but I am pretty partial to fruit skins and all the nutrients in there, so we're going to leave them in there. Okay, you can see here, we got a little bit of a wormy pear, but that's fine. We're just gonna cut that out. I have a little discard bowl here. You can still see we got a lot of good parts from the pear. I have chickens, my girls are going to love them. So we're gonna chop up 2 pounds, 3 ounces of pears. And I'm just gonna throw mine in. Mine's not gonna be exact, so just gonna throw it in my measuring cup and go to town. Worth noting on our lovely pear here, get rid of the stems, like in the seeds. You're not going to want to eat those. We're not running through this through a food mill. It's just gonna be nice and chunky. So also get rid of those. Okay, so we added our 2 pounds, 3 ounces of pears in there. Again, I kept the skins on, but the recipe I'm using recommends peeling them. I added them to 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. Just a shout out to Ryan for this awesome Dutch oven that he bought me. Super happy. Okay, we are moving on to apples. I actually started already and decided to grab my corer. We need 2 pounds, 3 ounces as well. Okay, so we got apples sliced up. I can't slice them one-handed. I'm trying to record, so we're working on it. So. More scraps for the chickens. The hens are really happy this morning since I gave them the pears. So I took a little break to go to the farmer's market where I got some wonderful things. I got some New England brown bread that was in a can. It is so delicious. I don't even know. So we've added about half of the apples. Yeah, I've added the rest of the apples. It's looking really good. Moved on to 1 pound, 2 ounces of onion. It didn't specify what kind. I'm gonna go ahead and use Walla Walla Sweet because they are delicious. Okay, so we are pouring the onions in. Yeah. Next step onto the, I'll have to look it up, ginger or raisins. For me, ginger is a labor of love, so I really enjoy ginger. I don't peel it. Many people say you should, but in fact you don't have to. I just wash it. So we want chopped 2 tablespoons of ginger. This is gonna be a little more than 2 tablespoons, but that's okay. I really like ginger. Okay, we're adding our ginger. If you haven't already, add your 2 cups apple cider vinegar onto the sugar. Okay, so 1 pound, 2 ounces of sugar, or approximately 3 cups being added. I'll scrape that out in a second. I am using 2 kinds of sugar only because I had some sugar in the raw that I wanted to use up. There wasn't much left. Okay, now we're gonna add in our raisins, which 1.5 pounds of raisins. So I don't know, it was more than 3 cups because raisins are, you know, have air in them. So okay, so now time for the seasoning. You can do whole cloves or ground cloves in this. I'm gonna do ground. Calls for a teaspoon. We're just gonna heap that. I really like the fall flavoring, so, and then calls for 1 cinnamon stick. We're gonna do 2, and then it does call for salt. We're just gonna, I don't have much in there, so we're just gonna splash it. It calls for 2 teaspoons. And I think that's about how much I have left in there. Okay, so, and about a teaspoon of peppercorns in there. I just grabbed some out. I'm not a big fan of measuring spices. And then we are going to turn up the heat and let it cook, medium heat. Let it cook for about an hour. You can reduce the heat once it gets too hot. You don't want it to boil. Like, you can start it boiling and then reduce to simmer. Gosh, look at that mix. Doesn't it look delicious? My house smells so good. Meanwhile, we're gonna let this reduce down and I will be back. All right, the chutney is done. I have sampled it. I'm going to add it to jars. Also, worth noting, you should use a heavy bottom pan so it doesn't stick. Mine stuck a little bit because I was distracted doing other things, but just look at that yummy, fruity goodness. So I have jars. You can actually use any kind of jars for this. I'm just using mason jars because I have them. And we're going to fill these up. Some tomatoes I made the other day. Check out my videos to see how to dehydrate and eventually marinate. I'm just not at that step yet. So anyways, here we go. I'm not positive I can do this one-handed, but we're gonna see. We're just definitely not one-handed. We're just ladling it in there. I'm gonna be filling up the rest of the jars and I will be right back. So our chutney's all done. It actually turned out really good. It made 2 more jars. I gave one to a friend that showed up while I was jarring it, and then we actually ate a jar already, but it's delicious. Highly recommend. This is supposed to be shelf stable. I don't know. I was following somebody else's directions, but I'm going to try it out. Thanks for watching.